All I know is war, all I know is fight. All I know is watch your back and you better tread light if you wanna make it through the night. All I know is truthful voices got a target on their life. I don't wanna be a martyr, I sure hope we all survive. I ain't tryna die, but I'm ready to bleed, cause I just can't bow to the powers that be. And I can't keep quiet while the rich folks feast and a child explodes on the Gaza street. All I know is laying roses on the graves of fallen poets, fighting lies with allegories, fighting tyrants with a chorus. All I know is war, 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 all I know is war. I don't wanna live like this, my lord. Funny how the problem is we are so violent and we try to fix it with more. When I was a boy, everybody in a uniform was supposed to be a hero to me. They go overseas with artillery and drop bombs on a village full of kids like me. Ignorant, I was slow to speak. Then I saw the Palestine children weep, and I saw the schools and hospitals full of students and patients get blown to pieces. Much to learn, but it ain't that deep, cause there ain't no war when there's one army, and the blood that spills is not clumsily. They aim for civilians, it's clear to see, giving billions to commit war crimes. It ain't just right, cause the left cosigns can't even decide who pissed in which line. Genocide, only thing unites the empire. All I know is war, 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 all I know is war. We've been at war since the day I was born. All I know is war. We've been at war since the day I was born. The utmost hypocrisy to despise immigrants and refugees after destabilizing their homelands. The nauseating tension of needing to seek refuge in the borders of the nation that destroyed your home. The United States of America has dropped more bombs than any nation in history, and we do so with pride, in the name of a bloodthirsty God, in the name of a corrupted justice, a perverted liberty. If you're looking for a righteous war, you will always find it. Every king is justified in their own eyes. Everyone is somebody's enemy. Every empire believes their enemies deserve to die. But no people can kill their way to abundant life. No nation can war its way to peace. This has always been a lust for power. America has been at war longer than any American has been alive. 2025, 24, 23, the US bombed Iran, Yemen, and gave billions to Israel to continue their genocide and colonization of Palestine. 2024, 23, 22, the US resumed attacks in Syria and Iraq. 2021, an unmanned US drone killed civilians in Afghanistan. 2020, the US conducted dozens of airstrikes in Somalia, intensifying the campaign they began in 2019. 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, the US bombed Syria and Iraq. 2017, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, the US conducted Operation Observant Compass, sending special forces to the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, and Central African Republic. 2010, the US commenced Operation Dragon Strike, destroying hundreds of Afghan civilian homes, farms, and businesses in the name of anti-terrorism. 2011, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 2003, the US invades Iraq looking for weapons of mass destruction they never find. 2002, 2001, 2000, the US continues airstrikes in Iraq to patrol a no-fly zone. 1999, the US and NATO bomb Yugoslavia. 98, the US conduct cruise missile attacks in Sudan and Afghanistan. 97, 96, 95, continued US military presence and combat in Iraq. 94, the US inserts itself in Haitian conflict after the nation experienced a military coup. 93, the US inserts itself in a Somalian civil war, leading an attack known as Bloody Monday, killing dozens of Somali civilians. 92, the US launches Operation Southern Watch, beginning airstrikes in Iraq to enforce a no-fly zone. 91 and 90, the U.S. led the Gulf War against Iraq, fighting battles in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and throughout the Middle East. 1989, the U.S. invades Panama. 88, the U.S. conducts strikes against Iranian oil platforms, radar installations, and naval ships. 1987-86, the U.S. raided Libya. 85-84, the U.S. secretly trained, funded, and armed the Contra rebel group in Nicaragua, encouraging them to overthrow their government. 1983, the U.S. invades the Caribbean nation of Grenada and ousted their government. 82, Israel invades Lebanon, and U.S. Marines are deployed to Beirut as part of a peacekeeping committee. This, of course, only escalated the tension. 1981, U.S. shoots down Libyan fighter jets over the Gulf of Sidra. 80 and 79, the U.S. provides weapons, training, and intelligence to Afghan rebels. 1978, 77, 76, 75, the U.S. secretly supported Operation Condor, a covert mission to help South America's right-wing dictatorships suppress their political opponents. Active in Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, and more. America encouraged their political allies as they used kidnapping, torture, and assassination to gain and maintain control. 1975-74, the U.S. continues to give hundreds of millions in funding and weapons to South Vietnam, even after recalling American troops from the conflict. 1973, 72, 71, 70, 69, the U.S. dropped 2.7 million tons of bombs in Cambodia, triggering desperation, chaos, and unrest that gave rise to the Khmer Rouge genocide, leading to the death of an estimated 1 to 3 million Cambodians and creating over 600,000 refugees. 1973, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65. In a failed attempt to stop the spread of communism, America sent 8.7 million troops and spent $168 billion to insert themselves into Vietnam's civil war. 1964, Operation Barrel Roll. The U.S. dropped 2 million tons of bombs and missiles on Laos, making Laos the most heavily bombed nation per resident in the history of the world. 1963, the U.S. supported the coup of the Southern Vietnamese government and the assassination